Buongiorno ragazzi. For today's lezione, we're going to be using the expressions più and meno to compare different means of transportation. Now, we've seen these expressions before, and we know that più means more and meno means less. So when we use them with different adjectives, we're comparing two different things, in this case, two different means of transportation, as being more something or less something. When we're deciding on what means of transportation is the most appropriate for our trip, usually it's based on how fast we need to get there and also on price. So we're going to be using the adjectives veloce, which means fast, and costoso, which means costly. So when we say something is più veloce, we're saying it's faster. Or meno veloce, that means it's slower. Più costoso means it's more costly or more expensive. And meno costoso means that it's less expensive. So now let's see what these expressions look like when we use them in sentences. Let's compare il treno and l'aereo. So when we're talking about which one is faster, okay, there are two different ways that we can express comparing and contrasting the train versus the plane. In our first example, un viaggio in aereo è più veloce di un viaggio in treno. This sentence is saying that a trip by plane is faster than a trip by train, which is true. The other way that you can say this is by using meno. Un viaggio in treno è meno veloce di un viaggio in aereo. For this sentence, we're saying that a trip by train is less fast, okay, or slower, than a trip by plane. In our next example, we're going to use the adjective costoso. So when comparing the price between a train and a plane, okay, a train is less expensive and the plane is more expensive. So here's an example using più. Un viaggio in aereo è più costoso di un viaggio in treno. A trip by plane is more costly or more expensive than a trip by train. And then to say the inverse of this would be un viaggio in treno è meno costoso di un viaggio in aereo. A trip by train is less costly than a trip by plane. So here are a couple of examples on how we use più and meno to compare and contrast different means of transportation in relation to speed, how fast we get there, and cost, the price of the trip. Again, if you need to revisit this lesson, you can rewind until you feel like you've got it, and then you can move on to the comprehension questions at the next section of this activity. Okay, arrivederci.